Hello, hello. Hi, ladies. It's time I go live for you guys. Let me grab my wine. See if any of you can get on. This wine I'm drinking tonight is so fitting. Hold on, let me show you what it is. Show you. It's To Be Honest wine. Hey, girl, hey. It's To Be Honest wine from Matt Bellassai. Have you heard of him? He's the one guy who does like the drunk talks. Hold on. For any of you who haven't seen my house. All right. So, to be honest, I feel like today is let me cry myself a river Thursday, or let me complain just a little bit more Thursday. I was like, holy cow, is the sun and the stars and everything aligned or something? Because everybody is in woe is me mode, and I just feel compelled. Let's see if this sunshine will do. Not really. I feel compelled to give you guys a little pep talk, a no BS pep talk, because I'm kind of tired of hearing it. Okay, so while at work, I was writing some things down because I have nothing better to do during my crazy, ridiculous work day. But in between conference calls, I usually get a little random thought and I have to run with it. So I was jotting notes down in my notebook. I took a picture, so I'll post it later. But here's what it says, and I'll read it to you. So I scribble during my conference calls. It says, Thursday thought. You can either choose to be a victim of your circumstances or whatever it might be, a victim in your situation, or you can choose to be a victor. The choice is 100% up to you. It is all in how you see your situation, right? I 99.9% of the time always choose victor. Always. I don't even know the last time I felt like a victim. I really don't. And lots of stuff has happened to me, right? People talking about me, talking about my business, my venture, which I really drowned out. I don't even hear that much, but people talking about me, criticizing my business, the fact that I even have a side hustle, a victim of my circumstances, the fact that Jake's ex-girlfriend just moved into the same apartment complex as us, oddly enough. It's like he saw the devil the other day when we were driving to Kohl's. But I don't even look at that as like a woe is me or why is this happening? I just look at it as the situation. This is just the present. There's things that, happen with my family that aren't perfect. There's a million things, but I basically never, ever, ever, ever complain. Never. Rarely. And if I do, it's for like a hot half an hour. Max like a half of a day, and I give myself like a little pity party of whatever might have happened. But that's usually self-inflicted because it's usually me not hitting a goal or something, right? But I do not complain, and I'm trying to instill the same in you guys because I've had quite a few conversations, seen quite a few messages, seen posts on Facebook, and I don't just come out of like this happy pea pod of energy and life is perfect and nothing doesn't go my way, right? That's not the truth at all. I might fall behind at work or do something not up to par, and you better believe my boss will tell me like it is. She is a straight shooter and a girl boss for sure, just in the corporate world. I fill my brain with this stuff so much that I don't have a choice but to think any way but positive. My mind doesn't even think that way. My mind doesn't even go to the negative. I'm not saying take this away from jealousy, right? We all have our bouts of jealousy, and you better believe I have those. But I don't think negative thoughts like, why didn't that happen to me? Or why didn't she sign with me? You guys know, I've told you before, lots of people have talked to me, talked about the business. I've given them all the information, and then they went and signed with their friend, right? Most of them have come and asked me for mentorship, which the answer is no, because you either choose our team or you choose someone else. So you have to live with that decision, right? But it's not that bad things don't happen to me, and it's not that I don't get the short end of the stick sometime. It's just I'm so stinking busy with shoving this stuff, personal development, down my throat and listening to it nonstop and reading it nonstop and writing freaking messages to myself. I just don't have the capacity to think any other way but positive. And I have trained myself to think this way and do this. And I strongly, strongly, strongly urge anyone to, if they have a spouse or someone who's supporting them in this business or who they're with all the time, subject them to this stuff. Subject them to personal development. Leave these books around the house. Our coffee table, whoever comes to the team retreat in July is going to see a bookshelf of personal development in my office, and there's all over my nightstand, and they're on my coffee table, and we have guests over all the time, and I could care less who sees the fact that I read them, because 9 times out of 10, it's a great conversation starter, and even guys are impressed. We were with Jake's friends this weekend. He's like, I am so impressed by your drive and what you do to take your life and your business to the next level, that if you are unapologetic about the fact that you are trying to better yourself and think, in a positive way and change your life, other people, male, female, whoever, will be super inspired by it. But I keep this stuff around all the time, and I listen to podcasts. I just subscribe to Audible by Amazon. So I paid the annual subscription, and then I'm, getting the audiobooks. And I made Jake listen to, on the way to his parents, I made him listen to You Are a Badass with Money. It's her second book, the You Are a Badass book. Because, I want to read it and learn more about money, but it also applies to Jake too. And he sat there and drove the whole 45 minutes listening to a podcast. I have satellite radio in my new Jeep. So I put on, I'm not religious, you guys, but there's something about Joel Osteen that gets to me, and I really, really like his style because I can kind of take the religion out of it because I'm not into religion. But I listened to his podcast this weekend on the way to the Cape. Right? I was like, you're gonna listen to 15, 20 minutes of this. And then you guys listen to this part. He went to the pool yesterday. He took off. I was working my corporate job. He took off and he picked a book from my personal development bookshelf from good to great and took it to the pool with him. I didn't even say anything. I didn't ask a thing. I didn't mention a thing. I've never even said that there are books for him to take. Never. And he picked up a personal development book that's on that shelf and took it with him to the pool to read. What? You guys, that is so cool. But the point of it is that it is so much a part of me. I am so relentless about it. I am so relentless, especially in the past month or two, because I realize it's such a critical part of entrepreneurship. It has been for the past few months, but I am non-negotiable, even on the days I don't work my business, because sometimes I take off on the weekends. I still get that personal development in, because it is so important. Because if you scroll Facebook for a hot second today, you're going to see a negative post. And then all it takes is that negative post that to bring you down a little bit. Then someone in your household's talking negatively, right? Takes you down a little bit more. Then by the time you get to a customer who's complaining, or your downline who's confused or frustrated or saying, I don't know if this is going to work for me or something, you're about to fold, and all you're going to do is give in to the negative, because that's where your mind is. But if you are up here, if you are thinking positive thoughts, the only stuff that comes out of your mouth, and I'm sure, someone who I talked to today from our downline is vomiting with all the quotes I was throwing at her, because I literally talk in personal development Pinterest quotes because I read them so much. But the only failure is you stopping. Someone made one post announcing their business, just started, and she's like, I don't know if this is for me. Really? Are you kidding? Are you going to be a victim of the fact that one Facebook post didn't get a ton of likes or comments? What? That makes no sense whatsoever. That makes no sense. You're being a victim instead of a victor. You are choosing to see the victim instead of choosing to see the victor. The fact that you posted, the fact that you put it out there, the fact that you're starting this business, the fact that 5 people went in your group. it's better than what you had a half an hour ago before you posted, right? It is the way you see something. And if you feed your mind with these kind of personal developments, you will see the positive in whatever situation it may be instead of seeing the negative. It might not be the best, but you're learning X, Y, Z. It's like someone saying, I failed at the beginning of doing an interview, so I'm going to stop looking for a job. Makes no sense. I mean, I can tell you I did not knock the ball out of the park when I did the first interview for the job I'm currently at. It was the worst interview ever, and I told my family, I was like, I would not be surprised if I don't get a call back. Thankfully, we had someone who works at the company who was like, you really need to give her a second shot, because she literally botched it. Like, I was so bad on the phone. But had I stopped there and said like, oh, nope, that job's not for me, I'm not qualified for it, I would never have the job I have now, the experiences I have, the drive I have, the business capabilities I have to think better, think more strategically, work better. You guys, so much has come from that experience because I chose to keep going. I was not going to be a victim of that first interview. I was going to keep going. And you obviously became a victor, got the job, here I am now. The same applies to my business. The same applies to your personal life. There are going to be tough times, and of course your mind is going to think some worse things and worse situations. But if you fuel it with the good stuff, if you fuel it with personal development, and I mean personal development as in sitting and consciously reading a book for 10 minutes a day. I truthfully believe reading will always trump listening. So I wake up in the morning and I do my personal development before anything gets started. It's my quiet time. Some people are nighttime, some people are daytime, whatever works for you. But I think nothing can trump reading. So 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say read. Push come to shove, I love to do the stuff in the car because it's just more personal development, right? It could be general stuff. It could be about family. If you're listening with other people, I super encourage you. I mean, I don't really give Jake a choice. It's not really, hey, do you want to listen to this? It's like, beep. Guess what we're listening to? Personal development. And I mean, it's taken a while, but it's relatable to his business too. He has a tough time in his business. He has a tough market. He's not making the sales he wants because I need a ring on this hand. He's not making the sales that he wants. And I tell him, of course, I'm throwing out, of course, tons of personal development. He says, yeah, but I'm in a tough market. Yeah, but blah, blah, blah. The same applies to our business here, right? Yeah, but I don't have a ton of Facebook friends. Yeah, but someone in my area has already started this. Yeah, but there's a ton of yeah, buts. But the moral of the story is if you want it bad enough, you're going to keep pursuing what you're going after. You're not just going to let something sidetrack you and get you totally off course, right? If so, throw in the towel now if you're ready to say that that's too much for me. But I can guarantee you 99% of you are here for a bigger reason than just selling some pretty lipstick, right? You're here for a better purpose. That something small can't derail you from what you want because you choose to be a victor instead of a victim. So I wrote down some things here that were coming to mind from people comment and post and yada yada and messages. You can either choose to say you aren't many things. Good at selfies, a pro at social media, into doing business in person, a makeup pro, organized enough, have enough time, social enough to know enough people. You can say you're all of those things, or you can simply choose to say this. I don't know, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to figure it out. And that is the difference between those who are successful and those who aren't, right? That's the moral of the story. Not everything is going to go perfect. I've had hostess parties who have sold zero, zilch, blah, done. Could I say I'm a hostess party failure? I'm just not good at them. It didn't work for me. I'm just going to try through on my online shop, a million other things. I think to date, I'm sure I've sold over probably $7,000, $8,000 in hostess parties. I'm sure. I've never totaled it, but I'm sure. But if I had given up my first party, which was $55, one collection from a family member, if I had just been like, nope, that's not my thing. Can't do it. Not for me. Instead of saying, you know what? That was an epic failure. Let me coach my hostess a little bit more. Let me work on my script. Let me do XYZ. Let me make the party 2 days instead of a 1-hour event, which is what I did, and I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. Instead of being coachable and saying, you know what, I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to put in the effort to make it better, then that is where the magic happens, right? I have 0 time left to grow my business beyond kind of where I am right now, because it's a lot of hustling and maintenance and helping you guys and focusing on my store and just the minimum. In order to grow it, I need to hire a virtual assistant. I need staff because I can't be doing everything all day like some people are who are growing this business. I just can't. I'm at work. And a lot of you are in the same boat. Instead of saying, oh, that's it, I can't, I'm just going to settle for the fact that our team's going to be a $1 million Crown Princess team this year. And, just be happy with that. I am willing to jump on the phone with people who are willing to jump on with me, learn about it. I'm going to fail forward in the realm of hiring a virtual assistant where I have no freaking idea what I'm doing. Right? But that's the difference, saying I'm a victim of my circumstances, that I need my income to maintain my life, right? That I work for a Forbes top 3 company that expects a ton from me. I can say I'm a victim of the fact that I live in the second most expensive city in the entire country. I could say I'm a victim of the fact that I had to pay for my college education, so I'm still working, or else I'd probably be able to retire and do SeneGence the full time. I could be a victim of all those circumstances, or I can say I'm going to have it all. I'm going to do it all. I'm going to pay off that debt. I'm going to keep working this business and I'm going to grow it. I'm going to keep working my corporate job and loving it and rocking it. And I'm going to keep progressing. The choice is yours. So what do you want? Would you like to just remain comfortable? Would you like to just stay where you are right now? If that's comfy for you, it might just be worth it to just throw in the towel and maintain your lifestyle the way it is, or your circumstances, your finances, your family life, where you are mentally, the fact that you might have to take antidepressant medication because you're just not that happy. Or you can choose to take control of it. You can make progress. You can fill your mind with positive things. You can surround yourself with the right people. That's a huge one, you guys. Surrounding yourself by the right people who support you. The choice is yours. Which way do you want to go? Do you want to stay where you are and be a victim? Or do you want to keep moving forward and go after whatever you started this business for and be a victor? It's 100% up to you. But I can say without a doubt, the one thing that has gotten me to where I am today, and the fact that I never stopped doing it, even when I stopped my last business, are these types of books and podcasts. I can 100% say that changed my life, and I will forever be grateful for my last business because I had no idea what personal development even was until I started as a health and fitness coach. Chelsea, I will agree. People is everything. I have let go of some of the most important people to me in my entire life, including family members that I no longer have in my life, including my best friend. I let go about a year ago and just basically let it trickle out from there and didn't really respond to things. I never really explained why it went down the tubes, but it had to do with the fact that she was not negative 24/7 and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't be a positive person and then listen to that because it grinds my gears. It literally drives me nuts. Nails on a chalkboard, nails on a chalkboard. That's all I hear when people complain. It's like, oh my gosh. Complain for 5 seconds and get over it, not forever. Amy, you said I'm already uncomfortable, meaning not okay with how my life is, and so I might as well say F it and get uncomfortable doing something I know will yield amazing results. I cannot agree more with that. I can't sit here as a victim of my financial circumstances any longer. I think that's really a big key of why I've been so successful in this business. From the minute I started, I just said F it. Right. I literally said that. I mean, I said the swear word, but I said, fuck it. I'm just doing this and I don't care. I literally don't care. And I think the only way you can get there is by things like Girl Code, some other books. I don't care what people think about me because their opinions do not pay my bills. Because if so, there's enough opinions out there that I'd be a millionaire by now, but they don't. And the only thing that pays my bills is by doing my own damn thing and going after what I want. And in return, which is the most ironic thing, if you are bold enough to go after what you want, relentlessly, day after day after day, and post about it, be about it, talk about it. I'm not saying talk about the products. I'm saying talk about how you love doing that side thing or having these people in your life. If you talk about it and you be about it and you embody it, people are attracted to that. And it might not be attracted, which is fine. It might not be attracted to the business or selling lipstick, but people are attracted to people like that. So those haters or people might roll their eyes or unfollow you. Eventually they will come around, because there is something so magnetic about a positive person who shouts blessings and happiness and positivity instead of harping on little things or complaining about them or posting about them or talking about them. Ain't nobody got time for that. But it's amazing to me how many of Jake's friends follow me on social media and tell me all the time how much they love my posts. You guys, I was like a health and fitness coach, and I talk about lipstick now, and I run a makeup business. And the fact that guys are like, that is so cool what you do. I love what you do. I need to find a business like that for guys. People love it, genuinely love it. And if you can be positive and bring, like that my boomerang post from last night, if you throw out positive, you will receive positive. And I don't even think you can fathom what that feels like to just be positive. Because then there's no room for negativity, you guys. There's just no room for it. If you're throwing out positive and you're getting positive, the only thing you know is positive, right? I'm not being like unrational and saying like I've never had a negative thought in the past 2 years of my life. It's just I let them go so quickly because the positive always overruns it. Kelly is saying, I love that, Amy. Same thing here, and a definitely new great way to look at getting uncomfortable. I mean, you can be uncomfortable being unhappy, or you can be uncomfortable getting out of your comfort zone and being successful. Choice is up to yours. I said that to someone today. I said, you're so-and-so. She said, I don't think I'm going to be great at this, but so-and-so is doing it. I said, so-and-so is willing to get uncomfortable for what she wants. And so you have to ask yourself, are you willing to get uncomfortable? Maybe make an ass out of yourself. Maybe make some social media posts that are slightly uncomfortable, might get a little judgment, to live the life you want, to have, stay home with your kids, to have your husband come home, to not have to work 2 jobs, to afford a house. It's totally up to you. And this is just my gut check to you guys, that positivity will always reign above negativity. And the way you're going to get there, the vehicle for it, is always going to be personal development. Because you're crazy if you don't think that in this little bubble of, girl bosses, gloss bosses, whatever, we're positive and we're amazing. And I've fostered a culture of that. That whole energy bus that I was telling you guys. My bus is all energy. And if you're not full of energy and positivity, please get off my bus, because I ain't got time for that. And we're going to the top being positive. But this bubble is great and positive. But if you don't think when I step outside and talk to friends or family that they don't try to bring some negativity into my world, for sure. It's just so easy to let it bounce off you when you have the bigger picture in mind, right? It's almost like it bounces off me. My family now is supportive. Obviously, they're getting on board. But with my last business, they weren't. That business took a lot more personal development than this one, because it was much more mental than this one will ever be, because there wasn't a tangible product. It was your being. So I'd say it's much more difficult from that people couldn't quite grasp it. But I feel like I had some prep school with my last business, and the judgments and the negative comments from my family and stuff like that. That I think that's where I really learned to rely on the books and the podcasts and the people and the uplifting things. Because if you fuel your cup all the way up, or your wine glass, whatever, if you fuel your cup all the way up with the positive, there's no room for the negative to get in there. So the moral of the story today is choose to be a victim or a victor. It is 100% up to you. It is all in your mindset. This business is all in your mindset. All entrepreneurship ventures will always be in how you see it and how much you're willing to get uncomfortable to go after what you want. Negative comments, situations, people, circumstances, life things will always come at you. It's how you view them that channels where you go with it. You can either let that situation that's going to come into your life regardless take you down, or you can take you up, right? You can choose to grow from it, or you can choose to lower yourself to that level of cattiness, negativity, hopelessness. Regardless, it comes in and it's either going up or going down. So it's literally up to you how you see it. All right. Today I choose to see how, regardless of how many things are on my plate, how many negative comments or situations came my way, it's like, girl, snap out of it. This is the way it is. I'm just going to go home and hustle harder, right? Right? That's just what I'm going to do, is just work harder for that goal. I'm going to strategize. I'm going to do those top 3 things on my to-do list. I'm going to do the best I can do, and I'm going to do it all over again tomorrow. I'm going to read my personal development, I'm going to do my workout, and I'm going to get to hustling, right? So it's up to you guys. Make the decision. Do you want to stay comfortable where you are? Do you want to get up uncomfortable and go for the great? So hope that helps some of you. Have a great night. I chose to be positive and get some wine, and I'm going to dive into my business because I have a lot of people to recognize from the month of June, and I have a t-shirt winner that I need to pull from the end of the month push. So exciting stuff, you guys. Love you guys so much. Hopefully this hit home with some of you. Choose today to go get a personal development book, or if you have a book and you haven't been reading it, choose to pick it up, dive in for 10 minutes tonight, and just be amazed at how much it can change your mindset. If you need any recommendations on personal developments, raise your hand, shoot me a PM, comment on this video, whatever it is. I have personal development out the wazoo for pretty much like any situation you're going through: confidence, social media, family stuff, business things. I will always recommend Girl Code. This phone is sitting on top of Get Over Your Damn Self, or else I'd recommend that too. I will also, You Are a Badass is always these are all good starter books for people just getting started, and then you can dive into some strategic ones. So hopefully that helps you guys. That was long-winded. I am going to go ahead and go live on my personal page about the same thing, and then I'll talk to you guys later. All right, have a good one.